Earlier this year, Orbea released the latest generation of Orbea Rise, and with it they released the LT version, which is 160mm travel. Also, they've upgraded the RS tuned motor to 85 Newton meters, which is very much the same power and travel as the Orbea Wild. Which begs the question, is there a need for both? Find out in this video. Hi folks, I'm Jason and welcome to Ebike-Centre. So today I've got the Orbea Rise M-Team, to the left of me the LT's 160mm travel, and then on my left I have got the Orbea Wild, again 160mm. Only differences between the two bikes really is 750 battery, Bosch powered, CX performance motor in this, 85 Newton meters, which has got the EP801 RS tuned motor, now kicking out 85 Newton meters, not 60 like in the previous generation, plus a 630 battery. This bike is around 2 to 3 kilos lighter than this bike. So to find out which is the right bike for you, or if there's a right bike for everyone, we're going to do 3 tests. We've got a straight climb, so it's basically a drag race. We're going to say which one is quickest up a long slog of a climb. We're also going to have a sprint, so like a cross-country sprint over loosely sort of undulating terrain. It's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, and we'll see which one's the fastest over that speed and over that distance even. And then lastly, we're also going to do a downhill test to see which one rides better on the descent. So stay tuned and you'll see which one we think is the winner. So for this test, we're going to do, this is basically a cross-country test. We're going to be looking at a long slope, well, a long sort of slight elevation, along with a drop and then another slightly steeper climb at the end across some fields. So it's going to be a case of seeing which is the fastest in a sprint. My feeling is it's going to be the Rise, but we will find out as we go along, because I'm pretty sure we're going to hit the limiter quite quickly on both bikes. So it's a case of which one I can pull the most amount of speed out of without any electric assistance. So yeah, wait and see. 3, 2, limiter. Much harder work at this point. It's all me now. To the crest of the hill now. There's Tom. Push, push, push. Right, downhill. Here we go. So this is where I expect the Rise to start pulling in or overtaking a while, but now we've got a hill, which is much harder on this. Right, power's back on, off, back on again. And then it's just me to the finish, and we're done. 44.5 seconds. Whew.
How was that?
Actually harder work than I thought.
Yeah.
Whew, done it though. Now I've got to get back and do it on the Wild.
Nice.
Okay.
3, 2, I've already hit the limiter. Come on, Wild. This easily feels harder already, but only the stopwatch can tell. There's Tom coming to the top. This feels much harder. Right, push on. Here we go. Downhill now. Might gain up a bit of speed down here because there's a bit more weight behind me. But we're maxed out on the gears. Push, push, push. Come on, climb. Right, the motor's back in. Come on. Come on. Oh, I feel so much slower. Go, go, go. Here we go. Home stretch. .48. Good.
Harder. Definitely harder. Felt that in my legs a lot more. So yeah, 4 seconds difference.
Wow.
On what was a short space.
Wow.
To be fair. The most noticeable bit was the peak of the climb when I was over the limiter, then the descent, and then the next climb. It was ages until the limiter came back in, by which point you're just lugging a much heavier bike up the hill. And I'm not normally out of breath, you see. Superhuman normally. Wow, that was quite hard work. So yeah,
Well,
that is a win for the Rise. Toby, pack mule.
that's what it takes.
So it is.
Subscribe to the Ebike-Centre.
For this section, we have got a long climb. So this is basically the drag race. So anyone that's tuned in here, we know why, everyone loves a drag race. So we've got the Orbea Rise, we've got the obviously the new EP8 motor with the 85 Newton meters of torque versus the Orbea Wild, also 85 Newton meters, but with the Bosch motor. So it should on paper be very close. We don't think it will be. We'll find out. So my prediction is the Wild will be much quicker up this incline and the Rise will be a close-ish second. So wait and see. So climbing on the Orbea Rise felt fantastic. It felt very natural. It was hard work. I was really having to give it some to get up this hill, and at no point did I reach the sort of the 15.5 mile an hour cutoff. So I was pushing hard the whole way up this hill, and for a lot of people who sit there and say that e-bikes are cheating, I challenge you to really give an e-bike a thrashing up a hill. You have to work hard for it if you want to get the maximum out of the bike. And the EP8 RS Tune motor, even the new version with the higher torque output, still challenges you and needs you to give it lots of cadence and lots of effort of your own. And what was very apparent is that it is very much a rider's motor, and the rider themselves makes a huge difference. So both Tom and I climbed on identical bikes, and I did pull away from Tom going up the hill, and we were had the same modes on, same power output, and still it did make a difference with me going up. I expect there to be less of a difference between two riders going up on a Bosch powered CX bike, but we don't know yet. So the Rise, the final climb came in at the time of 2 minutes 55. It was a hard slog. I was absolutely exhausted, but it really was a good workout. I enjoyed it a lot. But let's see what the Orbea Wild has up its sleeve. Okay, I'm ready when you are. Oh, there's poo on this. There's poo on it. Who put poo on my bike? Oh, so much more power. So climbing here, we've got Tom is on the Orbea Rise EP8 in the 85 Newton meters of torque, as we know, and you'll see it in a minute. I absolutely fly past him on the Orbea Wild. The difference between the Bosch powered bike and the Shimano EP8 motor is absolutely enormous. It did make the climb significantly easier. Don't get me wrong, I still wasn't at the limiter. I still had to work hard to get as fast up this hill as I humanly could, but the difference as I just shot past Tom is quite stark. And as a result, if you're looking for a bike that's going to shoot you up and down the hills as fast as possible, then don't go for an EP8 RS Tune motor. You'd need to go for a Bosch or maybe a Bros or something similar that's got huge amounts of not only torque, but peak watt output as well. Here we go. There are the boys. Nearly there. Two minutes 33. Big difference. Big difference. Whew.
How are you feeling?
Tired, but much faster on this.
Right.
Like chalk and cheese.
To be expected.
To be expected, to be fair. So certainly win goes to the Orbea Wild. Tom still not even here yet, and he's on the Rise. So a really big difference between the two bikes.
Huge.
And I'm gonna have a lie down. So as suspected, the Orbea Wild was quicker. It was quite a lot quicker as well, actually, at 2 minutes 33. That's a big chunk of time out of it, out versus the Rise. It felt that way as well on the trail. When I overtook Tom on that climb, it was pretty apparent straight away. But still, you have to work for it. If you want to get the fastest time up these hills, yeah, you can put it in turbo mode and cruise up slowly, but if you want to go up fast, you still have to work hard. So for this test, we're going to do a short technical descent and see which one is faster. I'm not sure how much of a difference there's going to be on this one. I'm going to guess the Wild will take this one, but it's going to be pretty close. So we'll wait and see.
3, 2, 1.
So on the descent, the Rise felt absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was responsive, it was nimble, it still felt very planted, typically like an e-bike, but it definitely just felt a bit more fun. It certainly, in terms of a pleasurability factor, if that's even a phrase, it was outstanding. It was such a pleasure to descend on. It's such a rider's bike. It's natural, it's it's nimble. You can notice that it's a lighter weight bike than your average full powered e-bike, and as a result, you do get a more lively ride. It's probably slightly more twitchy, you'd say. It's not quite as predictable, but then that's part of the fun of having a lighter weight bike. The descent itself, I had an absolute blast on, and I thoroughly enjoyed that ride. It's a section of trail that I do regularly, and it was incredibly enjoyable to do it on the Rise. And at the end of the trail, it turned out we did it in I did it in 1 minute and 57 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Right, so the Orbea Wild, downhill, it was fast. It felt fast immediately. I felt, to be fair, at times a little bit out of control, and I think that was because I was racing myself, and I'd thrown caution to the wind, and I was just like hell-bent on going as fast as I humanly could. And I did get a few lines wrong, but the Wild bailed me out. It's just so planted. It's so easy to ride. It's so predictable that even when I made mistakes, it was still just rapid, and it corrected them for me and just got me out of jail. And at the end of it, the timing came in at 1:53. There is a reason why that bike exists, and it is for a big part of it. It's going downhill on that bike. It's just epic. So that is a win to the Wild. So at the end of this, what did we find out? Well, the Wild was the winner, 2-1 versus the Rise. It doesn't paint the whole picture. Obviously, this is simple tests that we've done here, but we kind of tried to get 3 different scenarios that simulate what most people do on these bikes, or sort of what they do on these bikes anyway. I know there's some significantly better riders out there than me, but anyway, I digress. So the Wild was quicker, as we expected, and significantly quicker on the climb. It absolutely demolished the Rise, even with the new 85 Newton meters of torque output from that motor. On the cross country, it was very close, and for a full disclaimer here, we didn't realise until after we finished filming the video that I actually had the bike in tour, not even in turbo. That's the Wild when we're doing the cross country section. However, it still hit the 15.5 mile an hour limiter quicker than the Rise did. So I don't think there would have been much difference. Even if we put it in turbo, it probably would have hit the limiter another fraction of a second, or maybe a second faster. So overall, the Rise still would have won the cross country test, but it would have been closer. And finally on the descent, it was close. They were both lots of fun. There's lots of arguments to say that the rider element has to be taken into consideration. So did I ride better second time than I did on the first time? Quite possibly. I was certainly a bit more gung-ho, so it's possible that it was just purely, I'm a little bit competitive. So maybe it was just that I was desperate to beat my other time that I ended up doing it. But the main conclusion is both fantastic bikes to ride. They really are. And overall for me, I would pick the Rise. One thing I would take away from this is what Orbea have done with the Rise is create a lighter weight bike that can keep up to most degrees with the full powered bikes, but it really doesn't replace the Wild. Is there a reason to still have the Wild when you've got the Rise? Yes. Ultimately it's faster. The end. So if we don't see you in store, we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers. Bye. So in a slight change from the norm, I've got a camera. Just thought I'd introduce you to the team. Guys, quick introduction please. So we have got, from right to left, we have got Tom, who is my ride partner in general, and he has got, if we're looking down, oh no, that's up, Desert Rose. Look at that beautiful paint job on that Orbea Rise. Then we've got Adam, who is on camera and also our drone expert. And finally, but last but not least, we've got obviously lovely Toby, who you've seen many times before, who's currently a pack horse, as well as our cameraman and producer. So there you go, there's the team, guys.
Wear many hats.